All right then, everyone. Welcome to the podcast. We're back again, back at it. So yeah, let's get into the YouTube news then.
Okay, so there's not too much in the way of news. Mainly, well, I don't know if we're going to do the James Charles thing now.
Oh yeah, shit, I forgot.
Yeah, no.
I genuinely forgot. Um, Last week, or no, it was on the news podcast one that was 30 minutes long. Aaron presented me with some stuff about James Charles, and obviously it's just me taking things on face value so people can get my reaction and my opinion on things that I don't really know much about, but I'm just presented with the information and I react to it there and then and think, oh, blah, 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 blah. I did do a little bit of because we talked about on the second podcast what James Charles was doing. And I was like, okay, so this is pretty crazy. But obviously I wasn't being awful about him, but I was just like saying this is absolutely fucking ridiculous because all we really had was what every single person on YouTube was saying, bad stuff. So all that Aaron could tell me was bad stuff, and all that I was thinking was bad stuff. Like, if you take all this stuff at face value, it's bad, you know. But he made a 41-minute long video, basically proving that he was innocent in this situation, that he isn't a sexual predator. And obviously, I never said that in the a news edition of the podcast. I never said that he was a sexual predator or anything, but I did say that he was a bit of a scumbag, for harassing people. But it wasn't really harassment; it was just him flirting with blokes. So yeah. And obviously, it doesn't excuse other things he's done, but we're not going to go into that. But this was like before he was famous. Some of the stuff that Aaron was telling me, so I sort of excuse that. Obviously, some of the other stuff he's done, but we're not going to go into that. Hopefully, this is the last time that we can mention James Charles on this podcast. James Charles, if you ever watch this for some reason, sorry, mate. But yeah.
All right, so good thing that we got that apology out of the way because I didn't want to.
Aaron, you need to fucking apologise as well, you bastard.
Well, all right. All in my defence, I'm not using this as an excuse, but I was just using information that was available.
That was given to you. Yeah. To be fair, I was the one who was ranting, mate. I'm not gonna lie. I'm just messing.
But I full on apologise to him. He's come out and it showed that he's pretty much innocent, and I think the numbers now on like his social blade show that he's coming back up to what he used to be.
Yeah, because he went down to what you call it?
Was it 12 or 13?
13.5 million, I think. Yeah, went from 16 million to 13.5 million, so a pretty big blow, probably the biggest sub loss in history. But to be honest, one of our mates was saying, I wasn't really too fussed about him stabbing that woman in the back. I was a bit annoyed. I was like, it's a bit of a dick move, but it's not awful. But the thing about him harassing people, I was a bit annoyed about, obviously, But one of our mates was like, innocent until proven guilty. Guilty. And to be honest, that guy was totally correct. I was, we're not going to name him, obviously, but he's a cool guy. He was totally right about it this time. So, yeah, should have listened to him. And to be honest, we should have just waited a bit longer. But, we just thought everyone's saying this bad stuff, so it must be true. But at least he's proven himself innocent. Good stuff. We both apologise. Good shit.
All right. So I'll move on to the actual YouTube news now. There's not a lot in terms of like drama and stuff because obviously this James Charles thing has just been cleared up. So I was just gonna get your opinion because you're into movies. There's a lot of new trailers that have come out now. So have you what new trailers have you seen?
I saw the Once Upon a Time in Hollywood trailer. That was pretty sick. Actually, a little bit of news there. This isn't YouTube news, but a reporter had a go at Quentin Tarantino, I think, because he wasn't paying a actress as much as he was paying someone else. But Quentin was like, well, I wanted to get Al Pacino in it. So I don't really blame Quentin because Al Pacino, who he is, Aaron. He's quite a big guy. He's Godfather, Scarface, Scent of a Woman, Heat, Carlito's Way. The list goes on, a bunch of classics. And obviously Godfather 2 and 3, just bunch of classics, amazing actor. So obviously you're going to want him in your film. I don't know how much this actress was getting paid because she was doing a lot of legwork. I'm pretty sure she was one of the main actresses for the film. I don't know loads about this story. Huh?
It was Margot Robbie, wasn't it?
Okay. I didn't know. I don't know much about it. I just heard about it and I thought I'd bring it up. But yeah, if he was just not paying her loads for the sake of it, then that's pretty bad. But to be honest, it's difficult to afford Brad Pitt, Leonardo DiCaprio, Al Pacino, Michael Madsen. I think Michael Madsen's son is in it as well. I know he's not an actor though. the Bruce Lee impersonator. That probably, I don't know. I don't think that costs a lot, to be fair, because it's just an impersonator.
Yeah.
But so I'm thinking who else was in it. Do you know who else was in it apart from those guys? I can't remember, man. My brain's gone blank. I know they've just got a shit ton of people in it.
There's Leonardo DiCaprio, Brad
Yeah,
Pitt,
Brad Pitt.
Dakota Fanning. I've heard of her, but I don't know what she's in, to be honest.
Yeah.
Luke Perry.
Tim Roth's in it. Oh, yeah, Kurt Russell. I can't wait for this. Kurt Russell. Yes!
And there's Damien Lewis as well.
Yeah, good shit, man.
The ginger one. No, that's a bit... probably someone
They should have got Carrot Top in this. No.
But
I think they should have got Lee Evans in this as well. No, I'm messing, but yeah.
Have you seen any other new trailers that have come out?
Oh yeah, just a quick point. I basically went on that tangent about the news story. The new trailer does look good. I saw a bit of the Star Wars trailer. It just looked really naff again. I can't really remember what it all was. I think it was just really forgettable because I remember Star Wars trailer coming out, and then it just looked like total crap. To be honest, the new Star.
I know in Star Wars, especially in the trailers, they edit them in certain ways to make it look really deceptive. So it looks like someone, it looks like Kylo Ren's going after Rey. Is her name? I've completely forgotten. But we all know that's probably not going to happen in the actual movie.
Yeah. I'm trying to think what film trailers have I seen. I've been seeing this. Spider-Man Far From Home looks okay. The Godzilla one looks a bit meh. Rocket Man looks a bit meh, but it's got Eggsy in it and Rob Stark, so there. Eggsy's the main character of Kingsman. I don't know his real name. The guy's real name, and Rob Stark's in Game of Thrones.
Is it Taron Egerton? I can't pronounce his last name.
No idea.
But,
Brightburn looks a bit meh. I haven't. Tolkien, is that J.R.R. Tolkien?
Yeah.
Because I've heard about this film. I've seen it on the bus. So is this? Oh shit! I've just looked through reviews. Only 50% and 7 out of 10.
Oh.
7 out of 10 is good. Yeah. So what is it? His life story, or is it like a Lord of the Rings type weird thing? I'm guessing it's his life story.
Yeah, it's his life story about how.
Yeah, it is.
He came to write the books.
Yeah, it is. At least these aren't prequels or sequels or big franchises. At least it's something new. But
I was
Queen wasn't the Queen Bohemian Rhapsody good?
I didn't see it, to be honest. Apparently, a lot of people criticised it because I forgot which members of Queen, but they were directing it, so there was a lot of positive stuff in there rather than some deep stuff. So I forgot what it was, but they basically left out this massive part of the movie, and I'm not too sure which part of Freddie Mercury's life, but they left it out because it wasn't positive enough.
Oh, well, I heard that one was okay. Obviously, I wish they'd come up with original stories or new stories or whatever, but
have you seen
what's that other film? I know there's. I saw that a while ago. Yeah, I'm not really bothered about these animated films anymore.
It looks good.
They all seem.
The graphics are pretty good.
Oh yeah, obviously it's Pixar, man. They're going to be top of the bill shit, but
yeah,
I'm not too fussed about it really. I've seen some Disney live action shit though, and I'm not fussed, but it's just weird that they're remaking everything in live action. I know Will Smith's playing the genie. I don't know how that's worked out, but yeah, hopefully he's done a good job.
Yeah.
Any more news, or do you want me to say what want to say now?
Yeah, you can say what you want to say. There's not really much that's happened, to be honest.
Yeah. So the next thing is Game of Thrones. So I'm probably going to do a full review in a separate video, like just me talking about Game of Thrones. But just as a quick overlook of it, Season 8 was absolute shit. And to be honest, people are comparing it to Lost or whatever the ending of, just like mainly Lost they were comparing it to, really. But it wasn't that bad, but because Game of Thrones was such an amazing show, it set the bar so high and it had so many stories, so many shockers, so many good characters, and then it just flopped. It definitely is the biggest disappointment of all time. Not the worst thing of all time, but, not Lost final season bad, but definitely, definitely one of the worst, biggest disappointments ever. The problem was they ruined a lot of characters. It was really rushed as well. What annoyed me is that the writers had the chance to do 10 fucking seasons, and they only bloody did 8, and they said, "Do you want 10 episodes? We'll do it in 6." Idiots, morons. I mean, it's just an absolute disgrace, really. It's a joke, you know. They should. All they needed to do was listen to the fucking fans. That's all they needed to do. It has such a strong fan base and so many good ideas. That's all they needed to do. But they could not be arsed. They thought, let's do it in 6. Let's rush it. Let's make it shit. Fuck them. So, yeah.
Yeah, because I don't watch Game of Thrones or anything, but even I.
Yeah, you shared some shit saying a fat Homer Simpson line on the sofa saying when you knew it was the right thing to do to not watch Game of Thrones, and everyone complained about the ending.
Oh yeah.
Right then. So yeah.
All right. Is there anything else about Game of Thrones? Because obviously I don't watch it, so I don't know too much about it.
It's just a massive disappointment, really. It just felt ridiculously rushed. The way characters were handled, it wasn't good. Like I say, I'll do another video. I'll do a separate thing when I'm just talking about it, and yeah.
Because hopefully by the time this is uploaded, your video should be on the channel, isn't it?
Yeah, but that's the one about CM Punk. It's not the Game of Thrones ones. Spoiler alert.
All right, so I'll link it in the description because this one's
coming
up after. So
I'm doing one where I'm just rambling about CM Punk, but the next one should be Game of Thrones, and I'll do another one. But yeah, anyway, that's it really. Do you want to talk about get the main topic up then?
Yeah, that's fine with me.
All right then. So we are going to talk about education. Now we're not going to give any of our personal opinions or personal stories or anything stupid. We're just going to outline it. So obviously we're not going to say I took on an army of people. I was the best man in the world. We're not going to say any of that crazy shit.
Yeah.
We're just going to, you know.
Right, if no one's going to understand this, but
no, it's just inside jokes. It's just one of our friends who said they took on an army. But
all right.
Sorry.
Yeah,
so, yeah
the
point is, we always just say mental inside jokes, and obviously, if this ever got big, no one would fucking understand it. They just think, what the hell's going on, and fast forward or click off. But it doesn't matter. Who cares? Anyway, so we're just going to talk about secondary school, college, and university. Aaron knows a lot about university. I know a lot about secondary school and college. And doing this segment is it's sort of personal to me because I just finished college today. It was essentially my last day. I might have to go back for one more day after the Whitsun week off, or 2 more days. But that's it, really. I'm essentially done with education now. I've been in education since I was fucking 4 years old for the last 15 years, and now I'm done with it.
No, I've finished. Right, I just need to clarify. James is not farting into my phone. He's just using his hands. But
yeah.
But yeah, I finished university last week as well for this year.
His arse was flapping. Sorry.
But yeah, I finished university last week because I had to go in for like a 1-hour exam for a year's worth of work.
Just a trek, obviously.
Yeah, but yeah, I've done that.
Because Aaron goes to uni a bit far from where we all live. I'm not going to say where it is, even though, yeah, I accidentally did spoil an area where we lived in another podcast, but in a different one. But, you know, that's whatever. He lives a bit far from where he goes to uni, so, you know, obviously making the trek there as well. But, yeah, we'll talk about uni in a bit first. Let's get secondary school out of the way. So, secondary school, you know, it just felt like, I don't know, you really weren't treated like an adult. And obviously, I know you're going from 12 to 16 years old. But, yeah, a big problem I have with education in general is that obviously maths is ridiculously useful, you know, adding up numbers, adding shit up, thinking about shit, you know. But I feel like, I know we're not going to talk about primary school much, but in primary school, you're just sort of dossing and doing nothing really. But I feel like teachers should teach you, should make you want to learn, should make you interested, because that's what a good teacher does. They make you interested. A lot of people don't seem interested. A lot of people just seem to, obviously, even the smart people, they graft because they know they can get a good job off of it. They're not really interested and that passionate about it, you know. So, yeah. But, yeah, with secondary school, maths and English is really useful because, obviously, I said with maths, adding shit up, you know. But English, if you can't read and you can't write, you know, or if you like being illiterate or whatever, you're not really of use to anyone in the working world, you know, if you can't do either of those things. Same with English language is quite useful because you have to be able to talk to people to a certain extent. I know some people can't, but yeah, you know, but yeah, for the working world, it's a very essential skill. So maths and English are useful. Check. What would you say is useful before I go on to what's useless, Aaron, in secondary school?
I think at secondary school, that obviously the stuff that are useful are things you're going to use for the rest of your life. So definitely English. I think a lot of it just depends what kind of work you want to go into. And I know a lot of people don't know what they want to do when they're obviously like 12 years old. But like if you had a general idea, then you could pick certain things to go into. So if you know you're into science, you could focus heavily on science rather than say like art and DT and stuff, because stuff like
that. Fair point. One more thing that's useful. I'm going to go through other subjects now, and say whatever about them. IT, very useful, even though I didn't really enjoy it much. You have to be good at computers. You have to know how to use a computer. We mostly use Windows. Now it's all about Apple Macs, I feel. But obviously there's still some Windows computers here and there, but probably should have taught us more to use Apple Macs. I learned a bit of Apple Macs in media when I was in year 10 and 11. But yeah, knowing how to use a computer, knowing how to use Word, very useful, very essential. Key fundamentals. Food, very useful as well. That should really be more heavily focused on, I think, because people should be able to look after themselves more rather than relying on another person or their family to look after them, like cooking-wise. So that should really be focused on a lot more, I feel, teaching people to look after themselves. Just that in general, really. Learn how to wash your own shit rather than relying on someone else or relying on your family. So that's really useful. I feel like D&T, that... Now, I wasn't very good at it.
Yeah, I think we need to clarify what we weren't good at school.
I wasn't very good at it. This isn't any bias against it. I wasn't that good at food. Like, I was... Out of all the like design things, if you want to count food in like the design section or whatever, because obviously there was textiles, D&T, woodwork, whatever you want to say, clothes, making clothes and food, whatever you want to say, and art. I wasn't that good at D&T, obviously, and I don't think the teachers were that good. One of them had a red face all the time. He seemed pretty angry.
No, there was one teacher
I don't bother. Yeah.
In DT, and honestly, she spent that much. Right, this is no personal thing here, but I do think
we're not going to name and shame.
I do think it heavily depends on what teacher you have defines whether a subject is good or not to you.
We're not naming and shaming. So one teacher had a red face, and he didn't seem too happy. One food lesson, I didn't know what I was doing, and he came up to me and said, "You're starting to annoy me now." I was like, "But I don't know what I'm doing." So yeah.
Well, no, he was.
But anyway,
me. He was completely.
Oh yeah, no, he's decent. He's decent, but obviously no one knows who you're on about. There was another teacher who had a mental breakdown to Aaron's class and my class, and he said, "You'll be living with your parents until you are 36 years old." And it was kind of funny, but it was a bit weird. Like, how's D&T? Can't believe I keep saying D&T. How is D&T how is building a bench supposed to benefit you in the long run? If you're interested in building stuff and designing stuff, great, that's what you go into. If you don't give a fuck, then why is it compulsory until you're in year 10 and 11? It just seems like a massive waste of time, and it feels like it'd be better to work on in that time more maths lessons and more English lessons instead of doing D&T. You should be able to do that stuff when you're picking your options, so yeah. So that's D&T out the way. Designing clothes, same thing really. The teacher wasn't as bad, but the teacher wasn't really that good. But yeah,
when she had to go at one of our mates, because you weren't in the class that I was in for it, but
no.
Yeah, basically, I think with people when you design things, it's very easy to get bullied, especially by the teacher.
Yeah, because they're like, "Oh, you don't know how to do this." But what was bad about our school is they alternated. So, like, one point we'd be doing food, then the next time we'd be doing design, making clothes or whatever, and then the next time we'd be doing food again, and then it'd be keep going back and forth instead of just working on one thing. I think that should be a choice as well if they're making stuff compulsory.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that was kind of pointless. Art. Now, again, that was probably my worst subject of all time. But the teacher, honest to God, was put it in a nice way, not really friendly. So I was absolute shit at art. I couldn't draw for shit. And the teacher just kept being really verbally abusive, which there was really no need for that. The teacher said to me, they said, "Why did you draw it in that colour?" And I said, "Well, this is the artist that we're studying, and he draws things a bit bizarrely, like it's not realistic. So are you teaching me the wrong thing here?" And the teacher said, "I respect that. I was going to give you a detention, but you gave me a good answer." So that was just bizarre. The teacher was not a nice person. Well, not a nice teacher. They might be nice personally. I don't know. But yeah.
The teacher I had, she was okay, but then she randomly... It was weird because she used to randomly flip out at people for no apparent reason. And then with art, she'd get really specific on the most pointless things. And at the end of the day, it's like I accidentally added another layer of... Well, this is a bit personal. I accidentally made my pottery into a bomb by mistake and blew up everyone else's. Don't have a go at me. That's what happened to me, and yet she had a massive go at me for it. I mean, that...
Because you blew up someone's pot of paint?
Well, I blew up, the class's pot of paint. Well, the class's pottery.
Well, how the bloody hell did you do that?
I added she said put 2 layers on, and I heard put, more than 2. So I just kept layering, and then it just exploded.
Okay, then. Anyway.
Random anecdote there, but yeah.
Yeah, so the teacher really wasn't very nice. But obviously, art, if you're ridiculously, even if you're the best artist ever and you want to go into animation, there's a very slim chance you get there. Now, obviously, if you're really good and you're really talented, go for it, do art, whatever, improve your skills, improve your abilities. But at the same time, it's very hard to have a career in art, and it's not really that essential for regular people, who aren't that good at art. So I think that is definitely by far the most pointless subject. Next subject, science. Again, good, but a big problem is, no bias here, I was shit at science as well. But obviously, they're putting a Bunsen burner on and putting something over it and see it change colour. How is that beneficial? Now, I'm not knocking science. Science is amazing. It's helped so many people. Human discovery, save lives, whatever. Obviously, you don't want to rely on science. You don't want it to be, the thing that you worship and that you fully believe in and whatever. You should chill and rest back a bit. But obviously, you got to be thankful for science. It's done well. But learning it in school, it just seemed a bit pointless. There isn't really any skills that you can take into the working world. I feel like if you're interested and you're good at it, then you should go for science. Like I said, I know you can make an argument. You can make a case that, oh, if we didn't have science lessons, blah, 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 people wouldn't choose it in the first place. But that's what I'm saying. Make people want to learn, sell it to them really well, make an effort, And at the end of the day, give them so many options, make them pick something. Obviously, I know this will never happen, but I'm just saying my opinion on education. So science, it's a sort of in-between thing, middle ground, I'd say.
Yeah.
You got anything to add about science?
Well, from my personal experience, I'm not going to name anyone here, but yeah, throughout the time when I was at science, it did seem like, although we were in, say, a biology lesson or a physics lesson, it almost seemed like we were being taught something completely different.
Yeah.
So in in physics, for example, the teacher would go around and start explaining stuff about maths and how to work out these equations and stuff, and the teacher I had would go and try and chat up the students as well. But that's something different.
I know who you mean.
Yeah.
Mate, what do you think you're doing? Stand up. Get out.
I'm surprised you
Boom!
yeah, I was
Turn me on. Turn me on. Sorry. Again, no naming and shaming.
Oh, I was getting flashbacks now. But
Boom!
yeah. But yeah, it was almost especially for physics and chemistry, to be good at them, you had to be doubly as good at maths and at English, because you have to understand, understand parts like Latin as well, for different parts of chemicals and stuff. And if you're not good at one, it's just you can't progress, which isn't the best, really.
Yeah, one. But yeah, what other subjects? So there's computer science. I'm just going to say that quickly because that's what I did. Quite pointless. Didn't see the point. Film studies. Bit weird, really, what the teacher was asking for. Well, they weren't really explaining things that clearly. But decent stuff, decent laughs, whatever, decent shit. Obviously, I'm interested in film, but he it wasn't really that interesting. We looked at pretty boring films. Business studies, the teacher was amazing, and I was pretty decent at that. So yeah.
I think ICT or IT in general.
Yeah.
It's like
But computer science was ridiculously too hard. Eventually, for my final exam, I just handed in World War II things. I just copy and pasted that to the Word document and just sent it off because it was just I wasn't learning anything. To be fair, a lot of people were just copying stuff off the internet and putting codes in, so I don't know how they even got anywhere with it. But quite bizarre.
I always remember with I don't know how people call it across the world ever, but ICT, basically computing.
Computing.
Yeah. Yeah, that was also mental as well because I'm not right. This isn't having to go at anyone.
Can I just say something really funny quickly?
Yeah.
One of our mates was working on something. It was an after-school thing. We was all chilling. We had to do ICT. Then a teacher walked up behind him, put his hands on his shoulders, and said, "I like your style." Like, it was one of the weirdest. Like, all right, he asked him for help, then he explained it, and he just said, "I like your style." Like, but it's quite weird, isn't it? It's quite bizarre. I'm going to talk about PE in a second, but what were you going to say about how mental ICT was?
I was just saying, it's like I just remembered it from when I was there, but it's sort of like in each classroom, it was sort of like the teacher had their favourite group of students, and then they'd use it as like a social club.
Oh yeah, I get what you mean.
Because
100%.
The teacher that I had, she was mental. Like because
I know who you mean. But she left the school, didn't she? But yeah, she was weird. Is that the one you're on about?
Yeah, because
one who left. Yeah, she was weird.
It was effectively like because I was one of the only like well, not men. I was like a boy at the time in there, and yet she like.
When I was a young warthog. Sorry.
But I used to sit on the end of this table, and she used to tell me to move out of the way, so then she could sit where I was, and she could talk to all these girls. And it was like, this isn't really teaching me, is it? You're just here to have a chat.
Very weird, yeah.
But yeah, that was
I know what you mean.
Yeah.
I know what you mean. So IT's out the way, business studies. Business studies, even though I was decent at it, in my opinion, quite useful, really. Because if you want to start your own business, quite useful stuff. But yeah, what other drama? Now, even though I was good at that as well, and the film studies teacher said I should have done drama, that is useful because you can make like a load of money out of that. You can make a shit ton of cash out of that if you become an actor. I'm just saying. But obviously not everyone's got the ability, so it's not an essential, but you can make a lot more money than making wooden benches for people. That's all I'll say.
You're sort of giving
so have we covered... What do you mean with wooden benches?
No, I meant like with drama, you can, although you're not giving something physical, like you're giving.
You can give something mental. You can psychological. You can make people feel like they're part of something. They're part of the film. They're part of the conversation that's happening in the film. Escape from reality, whatever.
Yeah.
But have we covered every subject then? Oh no, PE. Oh dear. Yeah. Oh god. There was some very, very weird people. That's all I'll say. There was one teacher who really verbally abused a student with learning difficulties. There was another student with learning difficulties who was made to do some very bizarre things. Aaron, you know who I'm talking about. And it was very, very weird. No naming and shaming. No bringing up stories. One of the PE teachers, even a coach driver backed me up on this about this PE teacher. He used to come in the... especially the swimming changing rooms, an awful lot, really. Very, very weird. He used to come in the swimming changing rooms quite a bit. It's very bizarre. The one other teacher who did come in the changing rooms, but he'd cover his eyes and be like, "Okay, is everyone okay?" Then he'd walk off. Well, that's the way to do it. Let's be honest. You don't want to be looking at a bunch of fucking people in swimming trunks, for fuck's sake. That's disturbing.
Yeah.
But obviously, if you're only going once, that's fine. But if you're going in on a regular basis and looking around for about 2 minutes, that's just what the fuck. So yeah, there was one more point I was going to bring up about PE. I can't remember.
I was going to say...
No, the PE teacher that was taking the mick out of the person with problems, he kept stuttering, going all the time, and going blah all the time, and going da, 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 da. And I'm thinking, bro, that's cruel. How would you like it if you're... I don't know if he did have kids, but how would he like it if his kids got bullied by a PE teacher? Not cool. I know he meant it as a joke, and the person who had problems was laughing about it, but I think it's quite cruel, really. I think it's uncalled.
Just
a quick interval, Aaron. I've just got to go and get my
Oh,
dinner.
alright.
Just talk about whatever.
Alright, I was
So,
going to
yeah.
make the point. I was going to see you back in a minute.
Just make a just talk about stuff, advertise the channel, or say what videos coming up. I don't know. See you.
Alright, so, alright, this is a bit weird now, but, yeah, I was thinking about PE as well, or sports, whatever, you call it, where you're from. But, even though some people aren't the best at it, like, I'm going to admit, I was pretty terrible at PE. It is good to get your mindset thinking about, like, keeping up activity like that. And, I think you've just got to see it as well as, if you don't like something, so the way that the school that we went to worked out was that I think it was every 6 weeks it changed from, say, football, and then you do rugby, and then baseball, not baseball, you do like swimming or something. And like, I think it's good that they do that, because obviously it keeps you it keeps your mind active and stuff. And if you don't like, say, rugby, you think, alright, I'm not going to do this, I'll focus on something else. And yeah. And I think the main thing as well to take away from, this thing we're talking about is, although we're throwing in a lot of personal experiences and stuff, obviously apply your thinking to them as well. Because I think on the whole, a lot of education is sort of just based on the way that teachers want you to think rather than the way you want to think. And obviously, everyone thinks differently and all that, and I don't want to get into like a really random argument about that, but it sounds a bit weird, but you just got to sort of accept that this is the way you've got to work, and this is the way you've got to this is the way the outcome is going to come out, because everyone's got to like sit an exam of some kind, whether it be like you're sitting down writing one, or you're giving like an oral exam or whatever. But you just got to like work to the best that you can. And yeah, I know that James, this is a bit random because he's not here now, but I know we just go off a lot about personal stuff, but yeah, like, we don't mean any harm or offence to anyone who we talk about. It's just stories that that help us like apply stuff to what we're on about. But yeah, this is probably the longest I've actually spoken on this podcast on my own, because I keep getting, not interrupted, but I'm not very good at talking like this, so I always seem to butt in, and I'm just completely rambling now because I don't know where James has gone. But yeah, hopefully by the time this is up, James's video, I've forgotten what it's called.
I am back.
You just completely cut off what I was saying there.
I could hear you. I was walking in the room and I could hear. By the time James's video.
Yeah, I was just going to say, by the time this video is up, your video should be up.
Yeah. So anyway, I was saying about PE. I was going to say that is an essential, because if you look at certain countries, obviously I know, let's not get political or whatever here, but certain countries people are starving. Certain countries like America, massive, bloody huge bellies. What's going on, man? So in England there are a few fatties like my good friend Aaron here.
That's just uncalled for, James.
No, sorry, I'm
No,
joking.
Sure, I'm not offended.
Yeah, there's a couple of big people, so physical education is good for them. Obviously, because there's so many people, it's hard to push like big people, obviously. So yeah,
Although I was going to say, when I was at PE, I'm not going to mention his name because, for personal reasons. But,
yeah, we're not naming and shaming anyone here.
I do remember one time that he got forced to run around the track while people were whipping him at his legs. And, I don't know it's bad, but it got him really annoyed, but, it got him into the DV and all that, which is alright.
That's really weird.
I don't think you know who I'm on about, but yeah.
I could make a few guesses, but I'm not going to say.
Yeah.
Mhm.
This is like some ASMR stuff now, you eating into the microphone.
Sorry.
No,
yeah, I'll stop eating my dinner now into the microphone. I don't realise. Don't want to wind anyone up, because people go mental about that on podcast, man. Because I'm wearing a headset for this, by the way. It might not sound like it, but I am. And when you're eating,
Jeez,
actually, pocket, I hate sloppy eaters. I wasn't even eating that sloppy, to be fair. You could just hear me eating. Some people go, bleh, bleh, all the fucking time. Sorry. I don't even have that. I don't even have, just as a heads up, I don't even have that issue where that gets on your nerves, like people chewing or eating toast or biting a chocolate. That doesn't bother me, or crunching. But when people are sloppy eaters, it gets on my nerves, man. Gets on my fucking nerves.
I was going to say I could put ASMR in the tags if you keep this up.
Don't.
James.
I'm not about that life. ASMR, I am excited. Let's listen to it. This isn't ASMR. It's mocking me. So yeah. Anyway, so physical education. That's up there with one of the important ones because obviously you want to get people big and strong. And also for the less academic, it's quite useful because they could find a decent talent like football, rugby, get into the... I know it's not like America where we get scholarships here, but you can get them into a sport, get them interested. It's really useful, really. I feel like there should be self-defense stuff as well, like boxing or Thai boxing in schools as well. They should probably hire up a martial arts person for that sort of stuff. I know it wouldn't fly, it wouldn't be down, people wouldn't be down for it because obviously the school would be like, but you're teaching people bad habits, but self-defense, essential in my opinion.
I know I was saying before, like, although at the time, I was saying, like, the way that our school works was every 6 weeks it would change, but I was saying, like, if you don't like, say, football, for example, you think, all right, I'm not going to focus on football in my life, I'll focus on
Did they give us
rugby.
a choice, like, in the last... Focus on what?
You could focus on something like rugby or, whatever you're into.
Yeah. They really should just give people a choice, to be honest. And if a sport hasn't got a choice, unless someone says, I want to do this, or a group of people say they want to do this, then throw the sport away. If loads of people want to do football, give them football, let them work at football, whatever, But yeah, it was good how they had a gym equipment as well at our school. That was good because it built people up. So, to a degree, it's better than... I don't like most sports, I only like combat, but like martial arts. But yeah, that's all I've got to say about secondary school. Now I'm on to college, which should... Oh, one last thing. The maths teacher and English teacher were really good. A lot of the English teachers were good. A lot of maths teachers were good. The maths teacher, I'm not going to name and shame. Some maths teachers are absolute crap, but the one I had for the last 2 years, and I had him in my first year of secondary school. Not going to name him because I don't want people somehow contacting him. But he was literally the most dedicated, legendary human being, best teacher of all time, the GOAT. He made you somewhat interested. He was just over the top, and he was a legend. And he was like, he keeps coming, bang, 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 mass revision. And at one point, he went, you need to, the mass revision. And he just, the thing is, what I loved is that how, in a way, this is counterproductive teaching-wise, but he'd say, like, he'd be like, you need to get this maths done, need to get the maths done. But then he'd tell a really random mental story. It'd be absolutely insane. And then he'd be like, then he'd say, oh, back to it. And he went mental to these two people messing around outside the class. He said, you will not get the grade C. And then he went back in. He was the sort of guy who was like, he's really serious, but he can have a great laugh at the same time. He cared so much, legend. Not going to name and shame him, but if he ever watched this, which he won't, but if he ever did, he knows who he is. Best maths teacher of all time. Thanks.
Because I had him in the second part. Well, I had him in my last year, like the same teacher, because the teacher I had at the start, she was, no joke, she was there. Well, no, I'm not going to say that, but she was pretty high up in my school, and literally all she did was read out of a textbook. So one day, someone threw away a textbook, and she couldn't work out anything. So that's why we had James's teacher, and that's the reason I passed maths, to be honest, I think.
Sorry.
Oh, no, sorry. I'm just counting the runtime to get these ASMR tags in. Oh, I need to mute this mic.
Yeah, I just had to mute it. Yeah, I thought that teacher was pretty sound, to be fair. There was this really big teacher whose grandparents or great-granddad worked on the Titanic. You know who I'm on about, Aaron.
I don't, actually.
Oh. I can't really give a hint, to be honest. Really big, ponytail, weird face.
Was it a woman?
Yeah.
Oh.
Doesn't matter, forget it.
Oh, yeah, I know you mean.
Writing pens, writing pen, it doesn't matter. Writing pen, doesn't matter.
Oh.
But yeah. Wink, wink. No, but anyway. It's a mystery! No.
We could do a competition. Like, if you know who we're on about, comment down below.
If you somehow know. Yeah. Purple face, Bellic. Anyway, that concludes about secondary school. Let's get on to college. This should be a lot shorter because most people at college for 2 years. I was there 3 years. Secondary school's 5 years. Someone we know was meant to be going for 5 years, which is weird. And now he's only going for 1 more year, which I don't. Obviously, if you're watching this, mate, fair play. You're doing what you want to do, but insane. So, he works really hard and he's a legend, that guy, anyway. He's doing what he wants to do. But if he does end up there for 5 years,
Yeah. But, I know with college, the thing I wanted to mention was, because I did English at college, and the amount of step up between GCSE and A-level, it was like I walked in and it was, oh yeah, so you know all this, and everyone was like, what? And we didn't know, so he had to teach us what we were meant to learn at GCSE. At the time, we should have been doing A-level English, which was pretty weird. But I don't know if James is eating now or.
I was.
Oh, all right, okay. I just thought I'd jump in just in case you went to have something.
Yeah. To be honest, with college, I'm just going to say right now, with our school, I know I said good stuff about the maths and English teacher, but that our school, our year had literally the worst results ever.
Oh, yeah, they were
not even going to lie now. Partly because the teaching was really bad, even though some of it was quite banterous and funny. Great times. That's all that matters really in the long run, great times.
I know it was annoying about some grades that I got because he was mental.
Yeah. The 2015 tests were tremendously hard. It was insane because the 2014 ones were easy. 2015 ridiculously hard. 2016 ridiculously hard. 2017 less hard, and 2018 bit hard. But I think 2019's gone back to being difficult again.
It was weird because
I don't know. It's just what I'm hearing. I don't know, but yeah.
In one subject, I got like 3 A's and I got like 1 D, so I got just into a C overall. I was like, I got 3 A's.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, but you got 1 D. I was like, oh, great.
Mhm.
But yeah, I don't know if you want to talk about what subjects we've done at college. I mentioned what I did.
So you did? Didn't you do politics, sociology, and English literature?
No, that's completely.
Oh, sorry.
I did English literature and language, which was.
No, I got that one right.
No, it's lit.
Sorry, I got that one right. You tit.
It was pretty boring.
Nah, it doesn't matter if it's tit and language. It doesn't matter.
I did that. I did history, and I did.
You did nipple neutrons.
Criminology as well, which was basically because I couldn't get onto law. I couldn't get onto psychology.
So history, lit and
2 Englishes,
and sociology.
Criminology.
No, sorry, criminology. Yeah.
Yeah, which is all right. It's basically just history and law in one.
Okay then, fair play. I did level 2 media, then I did 2 years of level 3. What can I say about it? Now, all I'm going to say right now is that I was ridiculously fortunate. The teachers that I had were in and that I had up until this day. Obviously, this might be my last day, and I'll go back after the week off. I'm probably going to go in on tomorrow afternoon, even though it's my day off on Friday from college, but whatever, just to get some things done. But that Thursday, today was essentially my last day, basically. So, just to say, the teachers, they had their flaws, the media department teachers, obviously, but they really treated the class a lot like adults. Now, one of my mates ages ago said, they don't, your problem, they don't. And this guy was on the level 2, and he was like, they don't treat you like an adult, blah, blah, blah. But compared to other teachers at the college I went to, they really did treat you like an adult, And obviously, there isn't really a lot to say about college. The good thing about what I did at BTEC is that it was something I specialised. It's a specialising thing, so I was doing media, film, what have you, and you just do that all the time, so you can get really good at it. With A levels, it's all over the place. Obviously, it's useful, but pardon me. You're gonna turn to a burp ASMR.
The burp one, yeah, I was gonna say that.
But yeah, so it's good to specialise in something. What can I say? Really, it was college, decent shit. You know what was your time at college like? You can't really go into detail that much with college because it's just you do that and it's whatever. You get to uni or you get a job. I want to get a job, by the way. I don't want to go to uni, and I'll say why in a bit.
Yeah, it was all right, but it was this weird like dynamic and all that because half the tutors treated you like an adult, and the other half treated you like a child, and it was really weird. 'Cause, like a tutor that I had in the first year she basically refused to talk to us unless we sat on the floor outside, and she used to. It was really weird because we had like tutor times and stuff, and yet we had to sit outside a room in single file waiting outside the door, and if one of us left, we'd all have to restart. And it was just like, why are you doing this? And
that sounds like the biggest load of shit ever. Thankfully, I've never had to put with anything like that at college. That's absolutely pistol mental.
But then the tutor, who was literally next door to her, like the next room, completely fine. You know, you could chat to him about literally anything. He used to go down the pub with people and all that. He's just like, pretty chill guy. And like, there's just a massive difference.
Yeah. So, yeah, I never had to put with any of that rubbish, to be honest. So, what can I say? Decent shit. Now, let's go on to uni then. You know loads about uni, so get into it, my man.
I'm not the expert, I just sort of go.
You've been there for a year.
Yeah, I just sort of go with it. But yeah, I know what you mean. So, did you want me to...
You start, yeah, then I'll say my opinions and what have you.
So, like, university, it's weird because what you expect it to be is like massive change and all that, and yet really it's not. It's sort of just like college, but you just do a little bit more work. That's all. I know that's pretty much what it is by definition. But at university, it's all about you have to live like the student lifestyle and stuff like that. But just on like an education basis, it's like, well, you can read all these books and do your assignments on time. And yeah, you go and have a life. That's basically it. There's not much difference from college, except I'm 20 grand in debt now from it. So, so yeah.
You shouldn't level 4, Aaron. Shouldn't level 4. Shouldn't level 4. Shouldn't level 5. Shouldn't level 5.
Well, if I would have stayed at college for another like 2 years or something, I would have had to pay. I think so.
You probably would have gone. No, but it's like 6 grand or something. It's not as much. You probably would have gone mentally insane. To be fair. What it sounds like.
I mean, my college shut down as I left, so.
Yeah. It merged with as you know, I'm not going to say. Don't want to give too many things. People are going to look up college that. People are going to look up college that are shut down, and they're going to fucking find us, bro.
Yeah, but you gave away our location in like the first.
Ages ago, yeah, true, I did. But again, that a lot of people know about that shopping centre. But yeah, anyway.
I forgot which shopping centre we're on about that one, but yeah.
But yeah.
So you're gonna counter my university point.
Yeah. So university. Something good about it and useful is that you get a bit of independence in some aspects, depending on what you want to do. I know some people who are going to a local uni and they're still living with their parents, and they're obviously still getting a loan, which is great, and they're working part-time because uni, isn't it like a full day and a half day, and then you just do whatever you work, or you can have an opportunity to get part-time work.
Yeah, I mean, some people are in like for an hour a week. Some people are that I know.
That's insane.
And yet they're paying what, like 10 grand to go there.
Damn. So is that by choice, do you reckon, or are the teachers just?
No,
it
just depends on your timetable. Just depends where you are at what time, and then they just go.
Yeah.
You're in this for this long.
So yeah, you get some independence, obviously. A thing that, and obviously uni, you have to specialise in something. Like I said, at college, if you do BTEC, that's the option, but you have to specialise in something, which is good. You get an advantage as well. Like, it's useful, because you get an advantage, and obviously the people at uni are going to be ridiculously intelligent, and they're going to know what they're talking about, obviously. So yeah, uni's pretty good. What can I say, really? You specialise in something, you get a degree. Now, I'll go into the problems that I have with it. It seems like, from what you've told me, Aaron, I'm not saying that me or Aaron agree with what they're saying or disagree. Don't want to split our audience in two. But universities seem very political, and
Yeah,
it
yeah, they
seems like
are.
there's a lot of extreme personalities there. And I feel like we're keeping politics away from this podcast because we don't want to split our audience in two. The same as you don't want to split the class in two, because especially at that age, a lot of people they've already decided what they think and what their opinions are. So you don't really want to split people up or make people feel isolated or under pressure. You should be objective. If you are going to bring up politics, be objective, be neutral to it. At the end of the day, don't just spew your stuff down their throats, no matter what you think. At the end of the day, if it's a political teacher who's left wing or right wing, whatever they think, don't shove it down people's throats. Give them because you're a teacher. You're giving them education. You're meant to teach them. And the weird thing is, a lot of teachers probably bring it up, and it's not even in a politics lesson. They probably just bring it up randomly, which
Yeah,
is
I
weird.
have that a lot. Yeah, I'm not going to mention anything specific, but it is.
Yeah, don't obviously.
It is pretty much like. I mean, I told one of. He's not James, by the way, but one of my other friends about something that happened, and I'm not sure if it's appropriate to share or not. I'll just say it quickly, and if it's not, James won't say anything bad. But basically, during the first week, this one teacher who is very political made us all identify what we identified as, like on the political spectrum. And ever since then, he's really sort of not picked on us, but like had goes at us, at certain people for the way that they think. I'm not mentioning any.
That's totally appropriate to mention it. I personally think that is a bit of an idiotic move, really, because no matter what people's political views are, as long as they're not assaulting anyone, harassing anyone, they can still be a nice person at the end of the day. So I really think that's really inappropriate, especially to put that on students who've just come to uni and been like, oh, what are your views? What are your views? You really just like pressurising people and being a tit to them.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's a total dick move, and that's fine to mention that, yeah.
Because I know one of my tutors, he's a really nice guy, and what he said that one of the first weeks was the only difference between me and you is the experience I've gained over my life, and you will gain that one day. That's what he said, and that's a good thing to live by. Rather than this is the way you think, therefore this is how your life will be. Rather than that.
Mhm.
But I'm just trying to think of other things about university that. Alright, I mean, it's a bit hard to say a general statement because without basically saying what my university is and all that. But I think overall, I don't really know where I'm going with this. I'm just trying to stall for time.
Doesn't matter. I know what to talk about now.
All
So
right,
disadvantages with it, problems with it. Really depends on what uni you go to, what you want to do. Whether you enjoy it or not. But a lot of people, Aaron, I'm not sucking up to you or trying to be nice to you, but you're a fairly intelligent bloke. You really know what you're on about. You have no idea what the fuck you want to do. It's not just Aaron, it's a shit ton of people. They don't know what they want to do, even though they're at uni studying something. And I just feel like uni should be like, all right, we'll get this work experience for you, we'll get this for you. What do you want to do? What job specifically do you want?
Yeah.
It just seems like, and it's like I say, it's not just you, Aaron. A load of people have no idea what they want to do. They're going to put all this effort into this subject, and they're not all in with it. Just get a job then. Just do something else. You get a degree in this, and you're not sure you want to do it or not. What's the point? I'm not having a go, by the way. If the teachers aren't guiding you, then obviously it's natural to not know exactly what you want to do. So one last thing. So that's my last point. You got any points?
I mean, the only thing I can sort of say is that obviously university is going to be a good experience regardless. But
yeah, you get a degree, you're above you're above someone without a degree. You're going to be really. Oh, here's a couple more points I want to make. Actually,
but yeah, I mean, I think the thing that puts pretty much most people off is the financial aspect of it.
Yeah, but one of my teachers was talking about uni, and obviously I'm one of the few people in my class who doesn't want to go to uni. But he was saying about how no one can't afford uni because in reality, it just gets taken off as a bit of tax every so often. So you can afford uni in reality.
Yeah.
It just gets taken off as a bit of tax.
Although I am 20 grand.
And you pay it. No, but the thing is, you pay it. You don't have to pay it till you earn. No, you only have to pay it until you earn 30 grand a year.
I know. It's just like that.
I know you're in that debt, but still, it's anyone can afford to go to uni.
It's like that weird figure that you got, isn't it? It's like, oh, I am this much in debt and all that. And I know it doesn't affect like if you're applying for a mortgage and stuff, but you know it does put a little bit of pressure on you to pay it back. Even though
but it's just taken off as a small tax. It's not like a massive debt or you starting a business or a massive risk.
Yeah.
But I get it. It's something, it's something that's on you, and obviously, yeah. But 2 more points I wanted to make. The first point is, it's probably best to go to uni. Like, I think the most useful and wise decision. Go to uni and work something that you want to do at the same time. It'd probably be best to do it full time because I know it's really difficult, but at the same time, you're getting full time experience. And if you go to uni like once a week, you can also get qualifications as well. So that's what I'd say is the best thing to do, really, because you're working full time, you know what you're doing, and you're at uni. And I know it's a ridiculous amount of stress, and I'm not saying it's the best thing to do, but if you really want to benefit yourself in the long run and you want an ideal career path, that's pretty beneficial in my opinion.
Yeah, sorry, I just seen something. But yeah.
One last thing actually. When people keep getting higher qualifications, it costs loads of money. And I feel like once you get to isn't a PhD the highest? I know Masters is quite high.
I'm not off the top of my head. I think PhD is the highest, but
so once you get a PhD, or something higher than that, whatever. Apparently, it's really hard to get employed because your qualification, a lot of companies probably wouldn't be willing to pay for that. So you're sort of shooting yourself in the foot, really. But if you're really interested and you're amazing, it's worth the risk. It's worth the, Yeah. One last point I wanted to make about education. The teaching assistants in our school, there was about back to secondary school. Some of them were meant to help a certain kid, and they'd be having to go at random people or helping random people, people who didn't even need help. They'd just be getting involved and getting angry at people. Half of the teaching assistants did nothing. Now, I respect proper teachers because, it's, they're teaching people, they're educating people, whatever, Obviously, some teachers are dicks, but whatever. Some teachers are cool. Some teachers bust their arse. But the teaching assistants at our school specifically, there was like 20 of them. Now there's only 4 left, and I know that might narrow it down. People look, 4 teaching assistants, but they won't find it. But, there used to be 20, and a lot of them basically did nothing. Not naming and shaming again, and people with a lot of the people who were considered special needs, they did have minor special needs, but a lot of them didn't really need the help, if I'm honest. If anything, it was holding them back a bit, because we know the people. Some of them did need help, but some of them were just being held back, or the teacher was doing stuff for them. And so it just seems like really, I just don't get it, to be honest. They just didn't do much, really, and it was a bit ridiculous. But that's the final point, then. Anything you want to add, Az? Uni's bad. I mean, I'm not good enough for uni. Sorry, that was But it's true. One of our mates is a bit like, no.
Yeah.
Nah, but he makes a lot of amazing points about why uni's not the best. But I personally, like we say, being objective, you get the degree, but you have to know what you're doing. You have to try and have a clear path.
I don't really have any more points at the moment, but yeah, if you want to talk about anything else, I don't mind.
That I can't think of anything else, to be honest. But yeah, right then. Final thing we're going to do. This isn't going to be a rise to fame one like Callum's Corner, because no one really gave him a proper YouTube review. People who did give Callum's Corner a YouTube review, they were sort of ripping into him and he didn't deserve that. Personally, he's one of my favourite YouTubers. Yeah, I really enjoy watching him, and it's just entertainment because obviously we talked about Callum's Corner last time, but it's just really obscure and it's out of the ordinary what he does, and it's just like it just feels refreshing, and it's not a fake personality. It feels like he's just being himself all the time. Like obviously, I know I said in the Callum's Corner rise to fame that it could be fake, but I think that it isn't anymore because I feel like it's just him. It's not an act.
I know a lot of people have said that, he's so clearly an act, he's fake,
But it really isn't. I don't think so anymore.
I don't get how someone could put on a character like that for so long and not break that character, break character.
Yeah, so anyway, we're going to talk about probably... Going to say some good shit about them. They're very similar. Morgz and Durv. Calamate YouTube is a state. Clickbait is making me irate. Yeah, the likes of Morgz and Durv. I'll put them in their place. So yeah,
All right.
Tom Stockdale, YouTube is a state. Just we won't get copyrighted, but just that's their song. These two spasmoids going down. Can I get video chat on and do that? Actually, no, it doesn't matter. Yeah. So yeah, Morgz and Durv. You know a lot about Durv, but his channel's been deleted again, I think, because I tried to research into him a bit, because,
It's come back, actually.
Has it? Oh, you got any notes for this, then, or?
Yeah, I have a few. They're not the best, but yeah. So basically, what I've made notes on is how... It's mainly about channels in general that also apply to Durv. But if your channel is based off just pure negative stuff, then there is absolutely no way that you're going to be like a successful and positive channel in the long run.
Yeah, because he probably made a lot of money short term, but in reality, he's just going to get a load of hate, and he's just shooting himself in the foot. But anyway, let's talk about Morgz first, boy. All right, then. That was really cringy, but yeah. So, Morgz, he is... I'm going to say the good shit first, because there's obviously going to be a lot of not good shit to talk about with him. Morgz is self-made. He's busted his arse for years and years. I mean, he used to be really fat, and now he looks, I don't know, about 7 stone. Jokes, he's, I don't know, 10 stone or whatever. The point is, he busted his arse to lose all that weight. And he also busted his arse on his videos. His videos are like 20, 30 minutes long, because I watched him for a while, and I thought, this dude's... Well, I didn't properly watch him, but because people were talking about him, and it just seems like clickbait stuff, so I thought, oh, let's watch his videos. But yeah, he's self-made. He left school, and that takes a lot of balls, because the teachers were saying, like, oh, it's getting in your education, in the way of your education, blah, 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 blah. But he was like, no, I'm quitting school. So that's pretty sick. Took the risk. And now he's a millionaire, basically. Isn't he on, like, 5 million subs or something ridiculous?
Yeah, I think... I'm not too
Might
sure.
be even more. I can't remember. I really can't remember.
I'm
just going off of stuff. Yeah, look it up.
Morgz is on just under 10 mil.
10? Bloody... See, he's definitely more than a millionaire now. I mean, there aren't many people who are bloody... I don't know, is he 17 now or whatever?
I think,
there aren't many people who are 17 and bringing in the big bucks like he is. There aren't many people pulling this off here.
His mom's on like 500k, I think.
Yeah, so again, he's made his mom a lot of money. He's done very well for himself. A lot of hard work.
She's on 3 million.
Okay.
Oh,
absolutely mental. So yeah, that's probably the good thing out of the way. Now let's talk about the bad shit. I'm going to look up his YouTube channel and just read a few of these interesting titles for all of you.
I think it's good to point out as well the thumbnails.
Yeah, that too. Alright then. Channel's Morgz. Alright then. Drive whatever you draw. I can't see the title because I'm on my phone.
It ends in.
Oh yeah, whatever you draw, I'll buy it.
Challenge.
I spent 24 hours in virtual reality. Didn't fucking happen. I lived... Can you hear the videos in the background, by the way, or not?
No.
Oh, good, alright then, because I turned the sound down, then it doesn't matter. Yep, lived like a billionaire for 24 hours. I spent 24 hours in prison. Last to sink wins. Let the person. 24 hours. Dangerous giant. Wins 10k. So, we seem to be getting similar things here. Money's involved in it a lot. 24 hours is involved in it a lot. Nothing. There's a bit of Fortnite in here, which is very, very weird. There's a load of challenges like Floor is Lava, money, whatever. Just the same shit. I think there's one where, yeah, I'm looking at one. His brother, I think this is meant to be Morgz' brother, and it's obviously not his brother. So yeah, I noticed that, I think I did watch one of his videos, and looking at the thumbnails, his dad hasn't been in it for ages. And I'm sort of thinking, fair play, because his dad, out of all the people on Morgz' channel, he seems like the most down-to-earth person. I think he just doesn't want the hassle anymore. I'm surprised that his mom, who's probably Jill, I think her name is, and Martin, his stepdad. I'm surprised that they're like 50 and they want all this fame and attention. But I suppose it's the money, really, that makes it all worth it. So yeah, the point I'm trying to make is that a lot of his titles, it's obvious it's clickbait. Let's be honest. You know,
Yeah.
it's just really, really total clickbait. And someone actually called him out on Twitter on this. Another bad thing about him is that he doesn't really respond to criticism that well. Because I remember someone calling him out on Twitter, and he said, they said, "Why are your videos misleading?" So they said it in a really polite manner. Why are your videos misleading? Why aren't they telling the truth? You know, why are you giving us a false title? And he said, those videos are the it was along these lines. Don't quote me on any of this, but it was along these lines. These videos are the reason why you're working 9 to 5 and I'm a millionaire. Something along those lines. And it just seems a bit ridiculous, really, how he can't even respond to criticism well, and it's obvious that it's all clickbait. And also, he acts really fake. Everyone seems to act fake on his videos, apart from his dad, from what I remember. Everyone just seems to act totally fake and unrealistic.
I know he's got the Morgz tour, isn't he? I think
the Morgz tour? What the bloody hell is that nonsense?
It's like a live show where him and his mum did it.
He's doing a tour?
He did one at the start of this year in January.
What, was there anything interesting about it? Or I'm not, I don't know if you watched it, but...
You know, I don't need to bring up James Charles again, but you know those James Charles style shows where he's like, it's live and he's the centre of attention.
Morgz is doing something similar then?
Yeah, he's had one in January and he's doing more, I think, soon. And he's more part of it.
Maybe I'll do a bit of research into it and we talk about it next time on the YouTube news or whatever, more live show nonsense. Yeah. I don't know. It just seems like a load of... what is he doing? The thing is, like I said before, it's greed, really. Morgz is just getting greedy,
Yeah.
Simple as. To be honest, it's like the most fake a YouTuber can get, the most predictable, and it's not even entertaining. Like, a lot of it's not even funny. They're just acting over the top and shouting. I was thinking to myself once, he's got the money, why not make creative stuff or try and make a short film or whatever? I know he still works hard, works his arse off editing or whatever. But the prison one, I actually did watch that, I think I remember. And that one was quite well done, but the acting was so fake and so stupid and so obnoxious, it was just really hard to watch. So, yeah. To be honest, he's not a horrible guy, he hasn't done anything awful, but his content's just like the worst, man.
Yeah.
I'm surprised at Durv, because I feel like from what I heard of Durv, even Callum's Corner and Tom Stockdale said this. They said Morgz is worse, so it's a surprise that Durv got banned. So that was Morgz. What have you got to say about Durv? Then what's good and bad about him? Like, if you can think of anything good.
I can't really, to be honest. The only thing I can really think about is how he managed basically to get from 0 subscribers to 30k in 3 months, and then within a year he was on 600k. I mean, that's just insane, the amount his channel grows. But clickbait channels are like that, they just grow rapidly. But the main things that I've made notes on is the 3 defining things in what basically ended up to his downfall. So the first thing is obviously clickbait, because he was just spewing out videos that were just pretty random. I mean, oh no, that's the third point. But the second one is the wanna join my gift card giveaway. You remember that?
And what was it, a big scam?
Well, yeah, because that's the reason he got banned, got kicked off YouTube in the end, because of his gift card giveaways.
What did he do?
Because there's something in the TOS for YouTube, or the terms of service, that if you say you're doing a giveaway, you have to give away a product if he wasn't. So that's what ended up getting him banned, I think, or it was something that went along with him getting banned. But yeah, that main thing got him memed out.
Why didn't he want to give it away?
Because it was just if you say, oh, I'm doing a giveaway, share my video with 10 people, it's a really easy way to get views, and he was just doing that, so his video got shared around loads.
Oh.
But
man.
Yeah, that's the thing that sort of got him on a lot of people's attention, because when he started doing that thing, he's saying he was giving away gift cards. That's when all the commentary channels made videos on him, and really they got his views up, but then a lot of his hatred went up as well.
Oh, what's the third worst? What's the third thing that made him get banned then?
Calling the boss baby, because that got him memed to death. You know.
What did he mean, calling the boss baby?
You know the movie The Boss Baby.
Mhm.
He did a 4-minute video, where for about 3.5 minutes of that video, he was sat in front of the camera holding his phone, and for about 30 seconds to a minute, he spoke to he spoke to the boss baby, which was his friend pretending to be the boss baby.
Oh.
And I don't know if you remember it, but do you remember that video called "My School is Shutting Down My Channel"?
Mhm.
Yeah, but basically videos like that, they're like key defining ones that got him onto the attention of commentary channels, and then got him like mass reported, and then ended up getting him kicked off.
Mhm.
So I think it just shows that if you are just based on negative stuff and lying to your fans, although because he got 1.4 million subs, I think 1.2. He's not even getting 50k views a video now. He's barely getting that.
Insane. So he's actually made a comeback then again.
Yeah, but I'll just see when he last uploaded. But he last uploaded 1 month ago.
Oh.
He does like a month on and a month off.
Okay.
And he's getting about 10k views a video now.
Mhm.
With 1.2 million subs.
Well, it just shows eventually if you keep spewing out nonsense, you're not going to get any views, are you?
Yeah. So that's the last point I have about Durv, to be honest.
Who do you think's worse then, personally?
I think for actually. Well, it's weird because although Durv was a lot younger when he started, I do think in the end his content was pretty harmless. It was sort of stupid, really. It wasn't really
because Morgz is unstoppable now. He's got 9.6 million.
The thing is as well, Morgz is influencing people to act in certain ways as well, which
it's sort of like with the Pauls, how with Logan and Jake, they all sort of think this is a good way to act. This is a brilliant way to act. Let's act like these guys and we'll be successful. So yeah, Morgz is a million times worse because not only is he acting more, because Logan and Jake, I'm not being nice about them or anything, but they're men, they're adults, they're somewhat mature. Now, I know everyone will probably laugh at that statement, but yeah, they're somewhat mature, and the way they act, they're a bit douchey, they're acting like themselves. Morgz clearly isn't acting like himself, and he's acting insane. So kids are going to start acting mental, or young teenagers are going to start acting mental, or even some adults. I don't know. They're all going to start acting mental and thinking this is the way to be successful, but it's not.
The thing is,
just be yourself, like Callum's Corner.
The thing is as well, though, because he's so influential, someone else is going to act like him, and then they might get popular, and then someone else will copy them.
Then it just becomes an endless cycle.
Yeah, and it just gets worse and worse over time.
Yeah. It's insane. But shit happens, So yeah, that's the last point then, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't really have anything else to say, so...
Me neither. I've enjoyed doing this. It's been fucking great banter this time.
It's been a long one as well, to be honest. It's been well over
Yeah, this is probably the longest one we've done, so yeah. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one. Thank you.
Right.
See you.
See you in the next one, everyone.